Dave.
Ian.
Good afternoon.
Hello, buddy. How are you?
I am well. I have things. I have things.
Do you need to go to a doctor? Oh, you have physical things, not like
physical things,
not body things. I do like that you are covering your address. Okay,
I'm attempting to cover my address.
Ian's holding up a soft pack FedEx package.
Yes, there's a letter and a package.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna we do a lot of unboxing videos, as you can tell. By the way, I'm just absolutely ripping into this.
Yes, like a feral, like a feral goblin.
Oh, I have a 30-minute free SIM appointment.
We'll tell people how this thing came about, Ian. You have to tell them what the box is first.
Oh, right. Okay. So from when I went to work a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, I went to a work event in Las Vegas. And while my coworkers were gambling, I went and did a simulator session at the McLaren store in the wherever it was.
Wynn?
Whatever. In the Wynn, yes. And I just did it once. And there's like an instructor, and he's like talking to you through the headset, and you're driving around Road Atlanta in like a GT3 McLaren car. And I did one session, and he was like, well, you're like, at the end, I looked at the leaderboard, and I was less than a tenth from the top time of the day. And this was like early-ish January.
Yeah, this was like in the first 5 days of the month. Right? Yeah.
And they were like, well, we give prizes for the top times of the month. And I was like, okay, well, I'm the second today. And then I got a call a couple weeks ago that I had the second time of the month. I had the second fastest time of the month. And so they wanted my address so they could send me a prize pack. And it arrived.
You kicked in the door early in the month. Yeah. And it stayed. That's like when you put in the eBay bid way early.
Right. You forget about it. This was a week ago. See you in a week, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Then all of a sudden a 13-inch Dell XPS 9360 shows up at your door with an i7 and 16 gigs of RAM. Not like I'd ever have any experience with that. Or
right,
that laptop would just be right over there.
Yeah. So so I have a 30-minute free SIM appointment within the next year.
Oh, sweet. You'll be going back to Vegas within a year, right?
Next January, I'll be looking for that and not be able to find it. And then so that's cool.
Yeah.
And then let's see what's in the package.
Yeah, crack that thing open. Ian's opening the soft pack. Ooh, yeah, air from Vegas. Uh-huh.
Oh, a very gaudy looking hat.
Oh, wow. Yeah, McLaren. Yeah, very red, white, and blue.
This is definitely something that I would typically wear.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
Are
you even going to give that to Nico?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's very fancy.
Look at the packaging. Okay, so it's got a little sticker. Yeah.
And then, yes. So this is a T-shirt in extra small, so my kid can wear it.
Oh, nice. Okay. And that's McLaren. Oh, like is that the chassis code for that year?
Yes.
MCL 38?
So. Yep.
Okay. That's cool. Show me the back of it again. It has the F1 car on the back of it. You need to get better at narrating this stuff, buddy. Las Vegas. And it's got the top-down view of the F1 car. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then there's one of those things. Right?
Okay, Ian's rooting around. Receipt, documentation, and also this box that says McLaren. A tiny little McLaren. Oh, that's nice.
It is a key ring.
Oh.
Luggage tag, maybe.
Yeah, with a leather strap. Yeah, and it's got the little thing. Yeah. And it has the thing where you can pull it out so you don't have to do the little stuff with your,
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Ian discovers keychains.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's cool.
I've had the same keychain since 1998.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the Ian keychain? What's your keychain stitch?
It's just a ring. I do have a bottle opener That's sort of the biggest thing on it.
Okay.
From North Coast Brewing in California, where I visited in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And I've just had that's been on my key ring ever since.
Yeah.
I also have a key to my grandparents' house, which is no longer owned by anyone in the family. They've been dead for 10 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I own a key to their house.
That's awesome. No, like that's kind of a cool thing to keep on the keychain.
Right. Yeah. I use it for opening boxes often.
Okay. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you still have your vegan keychain?
I do have my vegan keychain. Yes. From Taliaferro Imports. Yes. In their milled out of titanium. It's the vegan logo.
Right.
I have that. I have a One Hell of a Town Game Boy keychain with the little car on it. And I just recently added a bottle opener myself, even though I don't drink. When I want to, when Pappy wants a Doritos, and there's, So in the Weira Advent calendar, that German tool company, there was a bottle opener. So yeah, it's a Weira bottle opener, probably, one of the most nice bottle openers ever.
My bottle opener gets used 90% of the time for Topo Chicos is what it gets used for.
Exactly. Right. As
they give you a Topo Chico at the restaurant, and I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That makes me flash back to like when Kelly and I were in Palm Springs, and they had those citrus fruits on the tree in the VRBO that we were in, and I was doing like those into Topo Chicos. Yeah, and I think you told me about that, doing that with another fruit when you were on a vacation. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. This is what Ian was doing. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Nice, buddy. Well, congratulations on your McLaren win, buddy.
Thank you.
That's so cool that they send that stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And I was like, okay, because they were telling me like, you should come back because it's prizes for the top times. And I was like, sure.
Right. Of course. Like nothing in Vegas is to be trusted at face value, right? Like you're just thinking like, oh, these people are incentivized to keep the seat filled, hour by hour. Maybe they get a little commission on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But no, it turns out like they wanted you back because you had a good chance at breaking the time for the month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Right on.
Oh, well, that was exhausting. I don't know how people do that.
Speaking of Sims, I do have a quick detour that I just remembered that I want to show you. So, did I tell you that I got a new video card for for my Sim setup?
You did mention that. Yes. I think you mentioned that last week or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to show you a picture of what my PC case now looks like because of what I had to do to fit the card. So here you go. Here's my PC case. And there's the cooler on the outside of it.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, that's better than, if you remember at one point I had a hole cut in my, in my case to fit a graphics card because I had like an old server.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's a nice looking case still. That's fine.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's in the basement on the floor. Yeah.
Are those coolers, are they noisy?
No, it's super quiet.
Oh, nice.
The only thing I ever hear is the GPU fans. Yeah. Those Cooler Master like closed loop liquid systems. I mean, I'm not like a huge PC overclocker person or anything. So I can just say like, that's an i9 processor in there, and I rarely hear those fans ramp up.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's nice. Yeah. So there you go. But it's when you don't buy a case thinking about like shoving a graphics card the size of a freaking Ford Fiesta in there. Yeah. So there you go. Right on.
Well, Dave, it says over here on our list of contents that you have a story, and you said it was a weird one, which is always intriguing to me.
So I had like a little while ago, I haven't brought it up on the show yet, but I saw the weirdest car accident I've ever seen.
Okay.
Okay. It was the slowest, weirdest car accident I've ever seen. And I can't remember if I've told you about this yet, just off
I don't think
pod.
so.
Okay. All right. So it was, I'm going through the preps to get my garage ready for a lift. And that's going to be happening within the next month. So,
oh wow, okay.
Yep. So it is happening. I'm getting a 4-post lift. It is from Direct Lift. It's their like 4-post Pro model.
Wow.
And I have the garage door like getting converted to a high lift, and I'm installing the lift motor and all that stuff. So
amazing.
Yeah. I purchased the garage lift motor, and we're all ready to go. So yeah,
sweet,
right. But yeah, so a couple weeks ago, I was, like getting stuff ready, like clearing out space in the garage, because I got to like mark out a bunch of studs in the walls and stuff like that. Right. And so it was one of those days where it was like kind of a nice morning. So it's like, okay, let's get the cars out of the garage. Let's like hit it with the leaf blower and get the, junk out and stuff like that. Kind of start the day, start the weekend, like doing like serious suburban dad stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And so I put my Lexus out, the sedan out on the street. I put my Fiat out, and then as I was walking back to take Kelly's car out, I hear like a kunk, and anybody who's heard like a minor car crash knows that sound, like right, like
there's a particular crunch.
Yes, right.
It's like how a parent can identify the difference between somebody stomping their foot on the floor above and a toddler's head hitting the floor. A toddler's head hitting the floor is the most distinctive sound in the universe.
Right.
A parent can identify that from like 3 clicks away.
Right. Yeah. Like Gus does that, and you get a text from Katie and Lauren. They're like, is Gus okay?
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yes, you're exactly right. And so I heard that crunch, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, did somebody just hit one of my cars that I street parked? Like, what happened? And so I go down to the end of my garage, and my cars are fine. They're off to the right-hand side. And I look down the street, and there is a Mercedes-Benz GLA, a blue one, that had crashed into one of the trees in the easement.
Was it like snowy out?
No, there was here. I have a picture of the scene. I don't have a picture of the car, because what happened was, I'm perplexed. I'm like, oh God, are these people okay? What's going on? So I start kind of walking towards the car, and it slowly reverses. This is maybe about 2.5-ish houses away, right? On the other side of the street from me. And it slowly reverses and then starts to drive kind of like almost at the same rate that I'm walking.
Like towards you or away from you?
Away from me, towards the end of the street.
Okay,
where you can
show me the scene, because I need some help visualize.
Yes. Okay. So let's see here. This is listed as .jpeg. Let me make sure this comes through. Okay. So yeah, this is looking down. So I live on a cul-de-sac street. So this is looking towards the open end of the street. And so you can see there's nothing on the road, but there was a little bit of melted snow. So you can see the tire tracks that this car made, right?
Okay, so when you arrived, it hit the tree on the right?
Yes, it hit this tree on the right
I'm
here.
assuming where the pile of plastics are.
Yeah, that's its license plate frame, which is in my garage right now.
Oh, interesting. So you have this... Do you have the license plate or just the frame?
Just the frame, because it was like an AutoNation like paper tag on it. Okay. But yeah. So as I was walking to see if these people are okay, they go to the end of the street and they turn right, and they're not peeling out or anything like that. And so in my head, I'm like, a few things could have happened. Like, were these people was this somebody like stealing Amazon packages and they don't want to make it look obvious? and like they were like on the lookout and they didn't realize that the turning radius on that car sucks. And they were like, or like they're texting or something and then didn't realize that they went up the easement and hit a tree, right? Until they actually contacted the tree, right? But you can see exactly where they went. This was the outer tire.
So they just U-turned into a tree.
Yeah, they did a straight U-turn at
from
like
a stop.
-1 miles an hour, like slower than walking pace, and hit this tree. And this is like at 10 a.m. This is not like, I mean, if you're drunk at this time, it's either from the night before or you have a problem.
Well,
right?
The other thing is they didn't notice the tire going up on the curb.
Right. That Mercedes suspension, man. Right?
I mean, sure.
Well, I mean, I think, and also you're heading for a tree because the middle of the license plate frame contacted the tree. It's not like they just clipped it. Like you were on the grass, you were on that easement for a while. Right? Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I was like, is this person okay? I don't know. So I don't know. I went back inside and I told my wife what had happened. I took a couple pictures and I walked down to the end of the street and I couldn't see the car. So they had driven somewhere. But yeah, here's the license plate frame and some plastic and stuff. Right. And I picked that up. I was just like, well, I mean, you're coming home with me, buddy. And yeah, so I guess so then like I saw the car like parked on an adjacent block and it was kind of halfway in the street and I was like, did somebody like steal this car and they were like snagging Amazon packages off people's curbs and then like they just hopped in another car and left this one here. I don't know. Who really knows? But I guess the end result is later that same day, the police came to that house that it was parked in front of and hauled a young kid that was drunk away. So,
really?
Yeah. Drunk, inebriated something. And yeah, so I saw like the weirdest, slowest drunk U-turn crash.
So this was potentially, they were lost in this neighborhood. Realized they were driving towards a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And tried to turn around.
Great. Yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Instead of just going all the way down the block to the cul-de-sac. Right? Oh no, heaven forbid you go like 7 more houses down. Right. Yeah.
Right. Although with this turning radius, maybe they wouldn't have made the turn at the cul-de-sac either.
It looks dubious at best. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love that like I got a picture of the actual arc. Right. Because that like ties really everything funny. Together in your head, right? Like,
absolutely it does. Yeah. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I don't just who knows what the real story is? I don't think anybody was hurt. The airbags definitely didn't go off, but that like that crunch, that toddler head, that car hitting a stationary object.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I don't know.
Weird. This reminds me of something though. And maybe we've talked about this on the show before. So stop me if I've said this before, but I have, we all walk around, I think, aware of some of our own like moral failings.
Give me an example.
I'm about to. One of my biggest moral failings is I have the wrong reaction to like the memorials on the side of the road.
Oh, okay.
I get sort of judgy. My first reaction is being sort of judgy instead of being reverent and being like, oh, that's sad that somebody,
passed here.
I will often, when I see those memorials on the side of the road,
what you're gonna say.
I will look around, and if it's like on a straightaway, just on the side of like a road where there's no like obvious like hazards or anything like that, it's not a place where they get a lot of like bad weather or anything. My first reaction is just, how? What were you doing?
Right.
How did this happen?
Yes. What were the circumstances that led up to a human death?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, was this like a Final Destination situation and you had dodged a bunch of other things? Did a meteor fall from the sky? I need more details.
I have thought the exact same thing. That look around.
Yeah.
Like, what is this situation like? We're not at an intersection. Right? Like and it's not like you're like, this person's a moron that this happened. You just,
well,
I don't. I just want more data.
Right.
Don't speak.
I'm more confused than anything.
Yes.
And also a little judgy.
You're leaving with questions.
Yeah.
And a decision.
Right.
A judgment.
Yeah. Were you shot someplace else and then drove here?
And this is where you bled out?
Right. That makes sense. I can get that.
Yeah.
But I remember I saw one at it was like I-80.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like a dead straight road.
Right.
And like, even if it's snowing, like, but don't turn the steering wheel. We're just going.
People have strokes, heart attacks, all kinds of stuff while driving.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But then is that really a driving accident memorial then? Or is that like a more of like a behave, get your heart checked out sort of thing? Right?
It would be, yes. I can see, like, because you're making a leap as to like this. If somebody dies in a traffic fatality at, say, like a dangerous intersection, I can see the inclination to put up some kind of memorial to like, because it serves a
almost
few
like
purposes.
A warning.
A warning, a memorial, like all these kinds of things together.
Or bringing awareness to like the white bikes, right?
Yes,
like bringing.
I was just going to say the ghost bikes. You're right.
Right. Bringing awareness to like, hey, we collectively could do things to change this outcome.
Yeah.
But if it's like dead straight road,
right?
Well, I don't know, man. If you manage to kill yourself there, which I know,
this
again,
is all going to add up to you having the most bizarre vehicular-based death in the universe.
Totally.
You're going to die in a Wendy's drive-thru.
Yes.
I'm going to put up a Frosty memorial.
I did say that this is a moral failing of mine. The one time that I had this like in person was right at the end of my block. There's an intersection here where two streets that are like 20 miles an hour are both.
Yes.
And the visibility is not great. And so we get a lot of accidents. And also it's like one block to like a busy street. And so people start to really like speed up to try to like make it to the busy street. But it's like, you know, the slower street has stop signs and then the one-way street doesn't have a stop sign. And I've seen a bunch of accidents there. And also heard a bunch like from our front room where you hear that crunch and you're like, oh, I know what's happened. I don't even look the other direction. I know exactly where it came from. I know exactly what's happened. But I saw one time where there was a small accident and then a car ended up on its side.
Yeah, it was on the roof. You put it on the show.
Oh, right. Yeah. It was super slow. I've seen a couple on their side there and the one on the roof. But it happened in such like slow motion.
Yeah.
And you're like, I mean, I see how people have fender benders here, but like, dude, what is happening? What are you doing?
Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
How did this transpire?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'd be one thing if it was like a weird, like lifted car with a super high center of gravity. But like the fact that you see like a car, like just a normal sedan on its side.
Yeah. And then I went over to the driver and they were clearly in shock and I just shook them and I said, why did you do this? I didn't do that.
You didn't do that. It doesn't shake injured people.
No. Just beat him about the head.
Yeah. So weird car stuff, man. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm glad, I guess everybody was mostly okay. The tree wasn't that hurt, but yeah.
Right. They rarely are.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
They should just make the cars out of that stuff. You know?
They should. I saw my neighbor and I was like, hey, I saw the weirdest thing. And he was like, blue Mercedes, right? And I was like, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So a word had apparently gotten around. So yeah.
That's really funny.
Odd. Yeah.
I have
Ooh,
Important news bulletin.
you do? Okay.
Yes. I today chaperoned my fifth graders' school trip, and I rode in the bus with them.
Oh, okay.
They have the small buses. Apparently, so they buy the small buses because you don't need a CDL if it only seats 14 people.
Okay.
14 people is the tipping point, which
okay. I never would have thought about that. So can I use that excuse because I did take the short bus when I was in kindergarten?
I mean, sure. But now that's why so many schools are buying the short buses, because you don't have now. Then the teachers can drive the short buses.
Gotcha. Okay.
They don't need CDLs. Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm on the bus, and I have, because of this trip, I have an important update about our national politics.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know, like occasionally you get like polling data, and you kind of just get it given to you without a lot of context.
Right. Yeah.
I have
14 out of 19 people in the blah. Yeah.
Yes. I have some really hyper specific polling data that I think is actually instructive.
Okay.
Elon Musk has lost the 11-year-old boy demographic. And I feel like that was sort of his wheelhouse. Right? He's building rockets and goofy looking trucks and shit, and and jumping around like a dipshit, to quote the former vice presidential candidate. Which is all things that 11-year-old boys are sort of obsessed with.
I mean, they just kind of do those things, right?
Yeah. And they're not having it anymore.
Really?
They think all of his rockets blow up and his cars are going to break down.
Okay.
So, at least in Denver, Colorado, 11-year-old boys have fallen out of love with Elon Musk, which to me, I feel like he should just pack it up.
I like that. I like that this sample group being the tastemakers for future politics. I would like to believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other kind of like trends or analysis that
they're still playing Fortnite.
Oh, okay.
They keep talking about somebody called, let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right, the Rizzler.
Nice.
Lots about the Rizzler.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of talk about that. Yeah.
Have you been on a bus recently? Did you put seatbelts on? I haven't been on a bus forever.
So it's a brand new bus, new short bus. They have lap belt or shoulder belts integrated into the old style seats.
Okay.
So they have like actual real seatbelts now, which is an upgrade even from the previous bus that they had.
Oh, okay. They just had lap belts or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And does everybody wear them, or is it like uncool to wear the seatbelt?
No, at least in elementary school, they are required to wear them.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Versus when we were in school, where we were, the only thing we were not allowed to do was like actually like be in the air, you know, like jumping from seat to seat while the bus is in motion. Like that was the only thing. Standing, running, shouting, it didn't matter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and their school, they go camping a lot, so they have like a pretty big like storage area for tents and backpacks and all that sort of stuff built into those, and it still feels like oversprung, you know, like the back of the bus feels very bouncy, because I'm guessing it's because they have a really high load rating,
right? And
you know, you just have a bunch of like elementary school kids. It's not really,
yeah.
You're not really doing much.
Yeah, you're not like shuttling like a bunch of, 400-pound people up to Black Hawk Casino, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I wanted to be like, because I was talking to the adventure coordinator about like about the bus and everything. And I kind of in the back of my head, I was like, you should really put some like bags of concrete or something in the back there and just like smooth that out a little bit.
Yeah, right.
But yeah. Okay. Rode on the bus.
I like that. Yeah. Are there bus songs, or is there none of that stuff?
There's a lot of bus shouting.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
there was a lot of shouting. And so I listened for a few minutes, and then I played the spelling bee on my phone to try to tune them out as much as possible.
There you go. Yeah. Well done, chaperone Ian. Yeah. And thank you for the political data point update.
Oh, I thought you were about to thank me for my service.
And thank you for your service. Yes. Pellegrino boys this evening. Yes.
I went tubing with the fifth graders.
You went tubing, really? In this economy?
Yeah, they like Echo Mountain. They have like the little tubing hill.
Oh, the snow tubing. For some reason, I'm thinking tubing like on a lake behind a jet boat or a motorboat. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
That's tubing in Missouri.
Yes, I've done that as well. Yes,
right.
But no, it was snow tubing up in the mountains today.
Nice. Is that fun? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny was like, "Did you get pictures?" I was like, "No, I was tubing."
Yeah.
She was like, "Did you talk to any of the other adults?" I was like, "No, I was tubing."
You were shoving kids out of the way so you could get to the front of the line?
I raced them. I raced them to the back because you take the magic carpet up, and I was running past them.
I love that. Yeah. Well done, Ian. Well done. I like that.
It was a similar dynamic to like when we go karting and I'm like, I'm going to take it easy. It was like, because on the way up there, I was like, I don't know if I'll even go down. Like, it's kind of pretty boring, probably. And then I got there and I was like,
nice. Well, yeah, you were the last one back on the bus. They had to pry you.
Come on. It's time to go. Like, oh, yeah. Do we have to?
They're negotiating comic books and ice cream as your reward. We'll let you play more spelling bee. Maybe even a little Balatro on the way home.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Nice, Ian. I like that. Yeah. Thank you for the data point, buddy.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting political journalism here on this show.
Exactly. Right. So, Ian, I have an alert. I got an alert. Ian, I got an alert, and I have a special sound queued up for this alert. Did that make
I didn't hear that. What was it? What? Excellent?
We may get copyrighted for that, but Ian, there's a 5-door bright yellow Vigan on Facebook Marketplace as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, that's ABBA, Ian. That's the song SOS.
Oh. It sounds weird over my headphones.
Yeah.
I'm sure it sounds great for the listeners.
I hope we don't get copyrighted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ian, it's in Rhode Island, so you know what that means.
Rusty.
Exactly. But it's a good-looking yellow Vigan with 200,000 miles. Okay, here you go, buddy.
Oh, it is yellow.
It is
yellow.
Yeah. So the yellow that came on these is that indeed. It is very yellow. Here you go. There's. Yeah.
It does look good in yellow. And I think the 5-door looks good in yellow.
It does. I really like it. I think like the blue, the red, and the yellow, and then like the silver and the black. Like that's my kind of Vigan color order. Yeah. Lightning blue.
Did they do the green?
They did not in a Vigan. No. Yeah. So I had the Talladega green or the Scarab green. Right. They never did the green in a Vigan as far as I know. Yeah.
So what other, you could also get black and silver, right?
Yes. Yeah. Let's do Saab Vigan colors. You could get, of course, the lightning blue. Let's see what else we got. Here we go. Yeah. Black, laser red, lightning blue, MC yellow, which is what we just saw. Silver, and then a steel gray, so like a darker. And they only have four.
It's the blue and the yellow are definitely the best of those.
Yes. Yeah. Have you seen it in red?
I have, and I don't love it.
Okay. Because Taliaferro has a red one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks good because it's Taliaferro's, but, but yeah, so you're not too hot on that in red,
No, I don't think so. I think this is one of the rare occasions where I prefer the yellow over the red.
Okay.
You know? Yeah. Like Volkswagen, I don't like the yellow as much as the red. The yellow is good.
Right.
on the Mark IV, because the anniversary edition, you could get the GTI in yellow.
Yes.
But my Tornado Red is better.
Yes, you are correct. Yeah, our buddy RIP, Tanner Bell had the GTI in the yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
okay.
I think yellow on the Vigan is better.
Okay.
Controversial opinion.
No, I'm here for it. Yeah. I like that. Let's see. Yeah. So it looks good. I mean, yeah, Facebook Marketplace, baby.
So where are you at right now? Are you like, how much are flights to Rhode Island?
I'm not. This is definitely like window shopping.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Window shopping in a Chrome tab.
$5,000 for a clean Vigan.
Right.
That's all right.
That is pretty good. Comes with a beefy sub in the back.
Is that okay? Now let's linger here for a second, because I see this and I see a red flag.
You do? Okay, for a giant sub. Okay.
And also, you told me this. I see cuts. I see cuts in the strut towers, right?
Yes, you do, Ian. Yes, good eye, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you. I know what to look for.
You do, honestly. Yeah. So, yeah.
And then there's a Nike something. Yeah. So I see a wire that's not a clean install.
Right. Yeah. It's like a ground wire just going to the nearest bolt head that they could find.
Mm-hmm. And then there's like some sort of workout equipment left in here, or what do we think?
Yeah, like maybe a golf club head cover or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, sweatband, something like that. Yeah, but
I don't know. I feel like in the year of our Lord 2025, a huge ass sub in the back like that, a big cabinet in the back, that is a red flag.
Okay.
You don't agree?
I don't know. I mean, amongst the things that I happen to scroll across on like Instagram Reels and stuff that the algorithm feeds me every now and then will be some car stereo stuff, some aftermarket car stereo stuff. There's this guy that does like these super clean installs on like nice ABS plastic boards that are mounted super clean. And like his wiring looks like he was an aircraft mechanic. Like, exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Every pair of wires is twisted and secured. Like, everything's so consistent,
There's no like, I'm going to leave 6 inches of play here. So
Yeah, it's done, right? And this is not that. But I don't know. Like, I have an appreciation for somebody who's just like, I just want some fucking bass in my life.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. I don't know.
So explain to people when I said I saw the cuts in the carpet.
Yes. Yeah. So the strut towers in the back, if you're changing the rear struts, the carpet in the back in the hatch area has it's a small like embossed area, and you're supposed to take a razor and cut this little horseshoe out just to make a cut so you can push in to get to the top of the strut tower bolt. And so if that's cut, they've either done the suspension work. Also, it's a super common place for rust to build up because moisture will get trapped in there. And so if you have, you can tell it's either good or bad if they've never been cut on a high mileage car, right?
That's the flip side, right? Is like, what if it has 200,000 miles and it hasn't been cut?
Right. Yes. Now that carpet back there is very easy to take out. So if somebody was like crazy particular about not cutting their Saab carpet, you could, with maybe 10 extra minutes of work, get that carpet out of the way easy enough to the point that like you're not going to damage it, or permanently crease it when you're getting those strut bolts. So yeah. Also, see where those 6x9s are mounted on the hatch lid there? Right? Yeah. So these are the 6x9 speakers up here. Guess how common it is to drop a screw down there that goes all the way to the bottom that you can't get out unless you pull that carpet out to the side. So, yeah. So anybody who's installed aftermarket speakers in the back of a Saab knows that this is a thing.
That's funny.
Yeah. Also, these plastic like tails, like almost like a tennis racket handle is what it looks like. Those things snap from the main housing all the time. So, yeah. But yeah, I like the. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like that the sub is a red flag for you, but I'm like, yeah, I bet Apex Twin on that sounds pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, no, I was just gonna say other than the sub,
Yes,
like it does look clean back there.
Yeah, right.
You know,
it does.
Are there pictures of the bottom of it at all?
They're not, and they do not have the front jack stand covers or the jack point covers. So, yeah, but there's a super common rust point on these that this one does not have. So, if you look at the vehicle as a whole, that's the rust point. No. So see the little panels underneath the rear taillights here.
Mm-hmm.
So the rear taillights have foam around them to kind of like to keep moisture out as it drips down, because this whole hatch channel here, as you can imagine, is a rain channel. Like water's supposed to flow down here and then off to the side here and out. Right. But this foam on the back of the taillight cover will degrade, and water will sit down here and start to rust. It'll cause some rust. Because like you can imagine like that bumper kind of like slightly moving against the bottom of that painted surface, eventually eating away the paint.
Right.
Yep. So, and then rust has it after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Also, you and I both know that when you're looking at a used car, one common place to look for previous damage and rust is where, Ian?
I mean, under the wheel arches. Wheel arches is one place I always look.
And that's a great one. And the spare tire well. Right? Yep. If you have a 50-pound sub on top of it, nobody's going to move it to look for rust in the spare tire well.
Can't see the rust under the sub if the sub is in the way.
There you go.
Genius.
I need a big enough sub box that somebody who's buying the car can't move it. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yep. Yes. We're going to sell this car to cyclists only with their weak ass upper bodies. Yeah. So there you go.
So what do you think? Is this a good buy?
I think it's a great buy. I think somebody needs to snap.
If it's not rusty.
If it's not rusty, if you don't see rust on top of the strut towers and you don't have to cut it, it's already cut like you noticed. Mm-hmm. I'm very impressed at your eye on that, Ian. Yeah.
I know one thing about buying old subs. What's the engine bay look like? Or is there rust on the strut towers there?
See, you know more than one thing, Ian. You know two things. Yeah. So here is the engine bay. Yeah. Here, let's get a better view on that. It looks like
it's very clean in there.
It looks like this is a gray car that was repainted, because on the Saabs, these components here, these rails are all body color,
or that was replaced.
So this,
or is that frame
top or up here is frame. You cannot just remove that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this car was originally silver and they repainted it.
Ah, see, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess the underside of the hood is also.
Oh, it's a 3M wrap.
Ah,
there we go. Sunbeam yellow 3M wrap. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're right. Yeah, the underside of the hood would be body color.
Yeah.
Yep. Everything works besides the typical broken cup holder. Yeah. Yeah, but the engine bay does look clean. That said. Yeah.
Yes, it really does.
Right. But yeah, so like you can see like just out of frame, this little section over here on the left is where rust gets you.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it looks pretty good.
It does.
For 200,000 miles, like.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And normally the grills, like that chrome layer will start to delaminate. It looks like, like almost like paper crinkles on it. Yeah. I don't see that here. Another huge thing to look for is if the headlight windshield wipers are actually in their position.
Oh.
Yeah. Because particularly the passenger one, for some reason it's because the air intake's over there. Like that, all of the air coming in being so dusty and dirty, like the servo for that wiper blade will just pack up with dirt, and that headlight wiper blade, typically on the passenger side, usually will cause like that wiper to be out of place.
Interesting.
Like
okay, well, somebody buy this.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. It looks like they did some good upgrades. Yeah, so just a nice forged diverter valve. you know, and the cold air intake. So
yeah,
right. SOS,
Very
baby.
cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, let me find out who sent us that real quick because we need to give him credit. It was our buddy Pat in Connecticut. Yeah, longtime listener of the show. Yes, send us the Vigan. Thank you, Pat. Go buy the Vigan. But he has a nice Volvo that is going to be on our Show Us Your Cars for 2025.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
thank you, Pat.
Right? Thank you, Pat. Yeah, a Vigan.
I'm going to send it to a friend, then I'm going to tell him to buy it.
Okay, nice. Yeah. No, so my order of operations for what I want to do with the lift stuff is, you know, Lemon's car, work on the Lemon's car. Then I would love to start the project for you, right? Okay. Your track car project. So that's my order of operations. Then that only after your track car is like finished and like it is in your hands and it is, you know, you are managing its space, then I will open myself to whatever weird fourth car comes into my life.
Whoa.
Yeah. Does it rhyme with schmob schmiggin? You know? Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah. We'll see. So that's how I see things shaking out. Who knows? Okay. I never planned on buying a Fiat 500 Abarth from Jesse, but I did. And so, you know, who knows? Things can always change.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what happens next with that.
Yeah.
So, should we do a license plate game?
Yeah, I have one for you.
Let's do it.
Okay. Ian, I meant to do this when we had our buddy Steve on the show last episode. It was wonderful seeing Steve.
It was. And we ended up talking way too long.
Yeah.
And
right?
We lost track of time. And
yeah, I mean, we could talk to him for 8 hours. Yeah, I mean, like he's such an awesome dude. So very thankful, but very thankful that he came down and took some time to be with us on the show. So really appreciate it, Steve.
Absolutely.
And so I meant for this one to be for Steve because it has kind of an off-roading dovetail. Okay. This one, Ian, is just called Jeepers.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, here you go.
Okay, all right. So we've got a white Jeep Wrangler up at the top with a black hard top. I don't remember what are the I don't remember the generation codes. I never.
Oh, like CJ, EJ,
XJ, whatever they are. Yeah. Yes, I can never remember them. Anyway, the newer one. Then we've got another one in red, also with a black hard top, middle, and then a white one with a white hard top and some goofy looking wheels.
Yes,
on bottom,
and then white fender flares, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the middle one has the black, the off color fender flares. The top and the bottom have body color fender flares. And then we've got Morty, Rubicon, RUBCN, or it's somebody asking a very impertinent question, Rub Can.
Rub Can.
Somebody asking to touch someone else's butt.
Oh, it could be.
I would like to rub your can, please. And then
Vincent Price. Yeah, just never fails to get people in a tizzy.
WS Panic. Wisp Panic.
I know what it is.
Wispan.
So I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to see if you can land on it on your own. But I think one thing that we've been facing with especially the license plate games that I've been giving you lately is a lack of context clues, right? Stuff you can find on the zoomies and enhancies, right? Okay. And I think that cheapers are so often have to, their cars look so much the same generation to generation. They have to do extra things, stickers and light bars and angry eyes and all this stuff to make themselves stand out. Right. And so I wanted to give you something that was not just 3 Jeeps because I think it's funny, but also something that actually did have some context clues to it.
Well, I am excited to dig in. So I have a one thing where I think that the only Rubicon here, the only actual Rubicon might be the bottom one.
Okay.
But I want to dig in to the zoomies and enhances because I see lots of stickers up top.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's something that says panic.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Okay.
Something panic. And then there's
some Jam Bandy stickers. Yeah.
What's the WP say?
Let me see here. Let's see if we can really get in here.
Yeah.
Yep. WP is another
play
thing.
Fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like that's a golf, like I think like a Grateful Dead golf thing or something maybe.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stickers here that are like plays on other more famous things.
Right. Kind
like,
of a spin on something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a leading contender for WS Panic, whatever that means.
Okay.
Since there's something that says St. Louis Panic. What's the St. Louis Panic?
Yeah. We're not allowing Ian to Google.
Okay. St. Louis Panic.
Yeah, no other
I don't believe that's a Rubicon.
Okay.
I have very limited Jeep knowledge, as we're finding out. But
we're all learning together. Yeah.
But I don't think this is a Rubicon, partly because of these wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I believe the Rubicons have the hook, the tow hooks are like off color, and I think there's 2 of them. But that might just be a generation to generation thing. I don't know.
Okay.
And this is a 4-door. Looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Then we got the red boy down here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the Chicago Bulls plate. These are chunkier tires.
Yes. Chicago Bulls plate for sure. Yes.
Mm-hmm. This could be a Rubicon.
It could be.
I also was hoping to be able to see the side to see if this was the shorty boy or the full-size one.
Yeah. Given its depth in the parking space, I'm thinking it might be a shorty one. Mm-hmm. Just a 2-door.
We do have the off-color tow hooks. It looks like there's some upgraded suspension pieces on the bottom.
Yeah, some things seem to be standing out in red, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And then we've got lots of Chicago Cubs paraphernalia.
Uh-huh.
We've got tow hook cover. We do have big meaty meats, but also some really horrendous looking wheels.
Yeah, those are not great looking wheels. They look overly tactical.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You can see the Punisher sticker that they wanted to put on the back of this car.
Yes. And it has the brush guards on the taillights. Nobody else has brush guards on the lights.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yep. You know about the Whittle Ladder and the Whittle, those things. Now they have a Whittle hitch. It goes in a trailer hitch, and it's a tiny little toy car trailer hitch. Yeah, I almost bought one for the Fiat because I thought that would be hilarious. Yeah, they have a Whittle hitch now.
Okay, so this is also, this could also be a Rubicon.
Yeah, it could be. Okay.
My lack of Jeep knowledge is really not doing me any favors here. Oh, you know what? That is, I don't know if this is just a different generation. I think the bottom one might actually be a Rubicon.
Okay.
And the middle one might not be.
Right.
Because the track, I believe, is wider.
Correct. The bottom one does have a wider wheelbase. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and wider wheels.
And wider wheels. Yeah. But those are aftermarket wheels too, so I don't know how much that's telling me.
Yeah, but if you look at the suspension setup on the bottom one versus the one above it, you see how those rear struts are kind of
it's
negative camber to them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I also wish I knew more about sports because I feel like maybe Morty. So I think WS Panic up top.
Okay.
And then it's between the next two, Morty and Rubicon, because I think Morty is probably a reference to whichever sports team that they are signaling their affinity for.
I think so. So let me clue you in on what these plates do mean.
Okay.
You have the Rubicon one correct. As far as like, it is not Rubcan in my opinion, but right.
Rubicon.
Yes. WS Panic is Widespread Panic. The band.
Widespread Panic. Right.
Okay, there you go. And then Morty is absolutely a Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty thing?
Yes.
Okay.
You know those Rick and Morty fans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very bunch of shrinking violets, those guys. they never let you know that they're Rick and Morty fans.
Right. I actually did like the show. I haven't watched it forever, but like the whole fan base just like really put me off of it. And I just haven't made it a priority to go back and watch the show.
The fan base is like, I never watched it partly because of that, because they were something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Dan Harmon is a funny dude. You know, he's had his challenges and problems, like, but yeah, he's a whole thing in of himself. But like, yeah, it's weird when like he has to make a show with like legendary asshole Chevy Chase to not be the asshole on the show. Right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. There were definitely some funny stuff in the Rick and Morty episodes that I saw, but I don't know.
Okay. So, well, yeah. I'm ready to put an answer in. I think Widespread Panic, I think, is up top. I mean, that is a Widespread Panic fans vehicle, like the base model Jeep with a bunch of stickers on the back that are like sort of puns or whatever. Like that is a jam band person's car.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, there's something.
I'm calling Widespread Panic a jam band. Send your letters someplace else.
There is something crocheted in that car somewhere. Yes.
And then I'm going to go Morty in the middle.
Okay.
And then Rubicon on the bottom. I don't think a Rick and Morty fan is picking those wheels, partly. And also, I think the bottom one is the only Rubicon.
Okay.
Maybe.
See, I think a Rick and Morty fan would pick the wheels, but I've forgotten which one's which. So.
Okay.
Yes. You locked in?
Yes, I'm locked in.
Here you go, buddy.
Son of a bitch.
So our buddy Mark sent in Widespread Panic. Thank you, Mark. Eric sent in Rubicon. And Eric also sent in Morty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was incorrect.
Yeah, just the most shouty one being Morty makes sense.
It does. It does make sense. Yeah. I really do wish I was better at identifying Jeep trims and stuff, but I think it's gotten harder over the years. Maybe I've just been paying less attention, but I feel like it's gotten less easy, except for the 4xEs, because you can see the blue, but that's it.
Right. And they make cool noises.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you and I had driven the first 4-cylinder Jeep you and I had driven was, did it have a hybrid system? I can't remember.
No,
it was just the little 4-cylinder turbo, right?
There was the Wrangler Sport because it was the short wheelbase and it had the 4-cylinder turbo, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it was a hilarious little car.
It was great.
Yeah.
I really liked that car.
Yeah.
And I also really liked the 4xE, but like the 4xE Rubicon that we drove.
Yeah.
But man, that little Wrangler Sport with the Turbo 4 was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the same day that I drove a dually for the first time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, yes. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Mark. So there you go. There's
thank
Jeepers.
you. Those were great plates. I can't believe that Morty one is so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you're like, no, a Rick and Morty fan would have restraint. They wouldn't buy those wheels. They would
I guess I just think of them as like, not that they're restrained. I just feel like they were slightly less aggro.
Oh,
than that. Because those wheels seem very aggro to me. But, I think, you're kind of right. Like, they are a little aggro. So,
yeah, it's that whole group of folks that I think like they like a character in the show for all the wrong reasons. Like they like Tyler Durden in Fight Club. They like, Heath Ledger's Joker.
Right. I think Walter White's the hero of Breaking Bad. Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Good one. I think we did a car show.
We did.
I'm going to wrap us up with an album.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay. So this is something we missed a couple of weeks back. In a weird like confluence of events, it was actually when I was in Las Vegas, I also went record shopping and I bought this record.
Go figure. You went record shopping when you were traveling.
I know. So I went record shopping. I bought this record and it was really cool. And I was like digging it and I was like, oh, I didn't get into this. And then this person died like a week later.
No way. What?
Yes. So this is an album from 1979 by Marianne Faithfull.
Oh, yeah.
Broken English. And I didn't really know much about her. I had heard her name. I've seen lists of like other art rock stuff because I like a lot of art rock stuff from that era. But I had never really sat down and listened to her record. And listen to it. It's fucking great. It's a classic.
Okay.
So we should listen to this one this week. It's very good.
Oh, wow. I didn't know she passed. Okay.
She did like just a couple weeks ago on like the end of January.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. No, I've heard a bunch of her stuff before. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. It's not really the genre that I would have picked for you.
No, but I can't remember what setting, but I think I knew somebody that listened to a lot of it. Huh, yeah. Okay. When I was younger, I think like when I was like just out of high school. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this is sort of in the same like thing of like you like Roxy Music or like Kate Bush and that sort of stuff. Right?
Yeah. They have it listed as new wave. Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah. Like the more chill side of kind of new wave. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to kill me like trying to remember. I think it was at the music store. Yeah, we had an employee that was super into new wave stuff, and I assume it's because of Josh, but but I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. This stands out in my mind.
Maybe listening to the record will trigger.
I bet it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway. I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah. Well, that's a great one, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
I was psyched to find it. Like that record store had some like. It was a lot of digging, but there was a bunch of cool stuff that I found too. So
yeah, what's the vibe of a Vegas record store versus like a Denver record store?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything.
Okay,
but it was a lot. So I've been to a couple of record stores in Vegas, and both of them had very eclectic stuff, where you can tell that like somebody. You know how you can tell when they get like big chunks in? Because
somebody's offloading a collection.
Yes, I love going through the new arrivals bin at a record store. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, especially if they don't alphabetize them. If you can tell that they're like placed as they came in.
Yes, and with Vegas more than even other places that I've been, you can tell that they're like obsessives. That like. They get into a thing and that's their thing. Like I got through like a big, and you can see it like strata in the rock, you know,
in geology. Yeah.
Yes. And so you're digging through and you're like, oh, I've gotten through the classic rock layer. And now I'm into like weirdo hardcore from Ohio, you know, like there was like 4 or 5 records in there that were all like super hardcore bands from the Midwest. And then it was like, there was a bunch of electronic stuff. Like I got like a really great like Fortet record while I was there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And then there was a bunch of like weird art rock stuff. Like I got this record, and then right next to it was another one that I bought. The Panda, one of the Panda Bear records. Panda Bear Meets the Grim Reaper was the one I bought. You know, so like you get these like little groupings of stuff, and then it'll be separated by like 75 Lawrence Welk records. You know,
yes,
that you got to get through.
Yeah.
So, very interesting.
Yeah,
experience.
When you're buying something and you're out and about, you're away from home, you're away from your home listening setup.
Yeah.
Will you like dip into it on streaming or anything before you get home, just to kind of like, I want to remember this and then I'll listen to it when I get home? Or
yeah, sometimes. And I'll often, I mean, a lot of times, so like that records, so if they don't have a listening station, sometimes they'll put stuff on for you, like in the store, especially if you're like the only one in there. And so like I had a couple of things where like I didn't recognize it at all.
Sure.
Like Google searches were not bringing anything up. And I was like, could you please play this for me? That was one of the hardcore bands from Ohio.
Okay.
And I was like, this is great for somebody else. You know?
Right.
So yeah, I'll do that, and I'll kind of look it up and just like see if it's a record I'm not familiar with. I'll look. I'll use like all music a lot to try to figure out like where does this kind of fit in the discography.
Yeah,
am I getting the like a good record from their discography, like representative, or is this a stinker?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in Vegas, I got a bunch of good stuff. Like I got a bunch of cool like jazz records, and it was a very eclectic mix, but good stuff. And this was one of them.
Nice. Do you remember what Fortet album you got?
Yes. I'm looking at my Discogs because
Everything is Static.
There's Love in You.
Oh yeah, There's Love in You. Amazing.
Oh, that reminds me. So my parents were in town. My mom doesn't listen to this. It's fine. I had the Fortet record on. I was playing it in the house, and my mom is not a fan of electronic music at all. She said that it reminded her of John Tesh.
Wow.
I told her I was going to tell you that I was going to tell on her.
Tell her I said thank you. I'm not kidding.
Really? John Tesh is terrible.
Well, he is, but in your mother's view.
Oh, no. She did not mean that as a compliment.
Really?
She was like, yeah, he has one idea and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow. I figured it was like
thing. Yeah.
The gentleness.
No.
Okay. Gotcha. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then your mom and I are back to being mortal enemies.
She's back on the list. She knows what she did.
No longer best friend. Yeah. Okay. Well, screw you, Ian's mom. John Tesh. Yeah. I had it kind of squared it up. So
I gasped when she said it. I was like, oh.
You found pearls and clutched them.
How dare you, mother?
I can kind of see what she's getting at.
I'm going to tell Dave on you.
Yes. Yeah. And he hasn't had any taffy, so he's going to be in a mood.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go.
I'm going to tell on you on my podcast. I'm going to talk all about it.
Yes. The primary platform to have mothers called out. Yes. Yeah. 2 dudes with the podcast.
I think so.
Nice.
Dave, I think we did it. We did a car show. What should people do? Yeah,
they should definitely text us Vanity Plate 720-515-1391 or send them on Insta DM over to Ian. And listen to Ian's album of the week, Marianne Faithfull, Broken English. Links will be in the YouTube description. Yeah, there you go. We're working on some stuff for our 500th episode, so stay tuned for what we're planning with that.
Yes.
And especially if you're in the Denver area.
Yes.
So there we go.
Everybody, thank you. We love you. Goodbye.